So you're an entrepreneur, and you've probably got this one big question nagging at you. How do I take this thing I've built and make it big? It's the ultimate challenge, right? Well, today we're not just going to talk about it. We're actually going to map out the answer and give you a clear, actionable guide for scaling your company.
So let's just start with the most important question you can ask yourself right now. Is your business truly built for growth? I mean, it's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day grind, but scaling, that requires a totally different kind of foundation. And in this explainer, we're going to show you exactly how to build it.
Here's our game plan. First, we'll craft the blueprint. Then, we'll talk about engineering your business for actual expansion. After that, we're going to explore how to grow with partners, how to conquer new markets, and finally, how to use data to make smart, informed decisions. Let's dive in.
Okay, first things first. Before you can even think about building a skyscraper, you need a solid blueprint. It's the exact same thing with your business. This first step is all about laying that unshakable foundation before you even think about expanding. Now don't look at these 5 things as just a checklist. Think of them as a loop, where each part strengthens the others. It all starts with your core competency. What is it that makes you special? That's the heart of your roadmap. And that plan then tells you what tech you need and what kind of team you need to build. And of course, the right funding fuels the whole thing. Get these pieces right, and your foundation is rock solid. All right, with our blueprint in hand, we can move on to stage 2, engineering a business model that's actually built for expansion. This isn't just about getting bigger, it's about getting smarter so your business doesn't, implode under the weight of its own success. So what does scalable actually mean? It's simple. It means your revenue can shoot up without your costs shooting up right alongside it. The classic example is software, right? You can sell 1 million copies for almost the same cost as selling just one. That's the dream. And believe me, it's more achievable than you might think, no matter what industry you're in.
So how do you build this thing? Well, you start by standardizing your processes, making them so clear that anyone on your team can repeat them perfectly. Then you use tech to automate those processes. From there, you can build predictable, recurring income with subscriptions and make sure your supply chain can actually handle the new demand. But look at that final piece, retention. Because the cheapest, most effective way to grow is simply to keep the amazing customers you already have.
Okay, section 3. Here's a little secret. You don't have to do it all by yourself. In fact, some of the fastest growing companies out there scale by joining forces. The right strategic collaborations can be like a supercharger for your business, giving you access to new customers, new resources, and expertise you just couldn't get on your own. When it comes to finding partners, you've really got 2 main paths. If your goal is to perfectly copy a successful system you've already built, you're looking at franchising. That's all about protecting your brand and having an amazing training plan. But if your goal is to create something brand new by combining your strengths with another company, then you're looking at a partnership or a joint venture. And that is all about crystal clear agreements and constant communication. And this right here is the bottom line. It doesn't matter if it's a franchise or a joint venture, the only partnerships that actually last are the ones where everybody wins. If the deal feels one-sided, it's pretty much destined to fail. You've always got to focus on creating that mutual value. And now for the really exciting part. Taking your success and expanding it into brand new territories. Whether that's just the next city over or a country halfway around the world, conquering new markets takes a careful, well-researched strategy. You can't just show up and expect things to work out. Think of this as your pre-launch checklist. You have to start with deep research. Who are these new customers, really? Who are you competing against? Then you adapt. Your product might need a little tweaking to fit local tastes. You absolutely have to understand the local rules and regulations. Building partnerships on the ground gives you instant credibility. And finally, you use digital marketing to let everyone know you've arrived.
We've made it to our final and, arguably the most important stage. This is the engine that powers everything else we've talked about. Using data isn't just about looking backward at what happened. It's about looking forward to make smarter, faster, and way more profitable decisions.
Let's be real. Every business decision you make without data is a guess. It might be an educated guess, sure, based on your gut, but it's still a guess. Data is what transforms that guesswork into knowledge. It gives you the confidence to make big, bold moves because you know the numbers are on your side. So where do we even begin with data? With 2 numbers every single business owner has to know. The first one answers a simple question. How much does it cost you, all in, to get one brand new customer? In business, we call that your customer acquisition cost, or CAC. Every dollar you spend on marketing and sales goes into this number, and your goal is to drive it down, down, down.
But that first number is pretty much meaningless without its partner, lifetime value, or LTV. This tells you how much a customer is actually worth to you over their entire relationship with your business. For a healthy, scalable company, your LTV should be way higher, like multiples higher, than your CAC. It's the ultimate sign that you're growing profitably, not just spending money to look busy.
So just tracking metrics is the start. The real magic happens when you use that data to understand your customers on a deeper level, to predict where the market is headed, and to use their direct feedback to build an even better product. It creates this powerful cycle of constant improvement.
And you know, the great news is you don't need a PhD in data science to get started. There are powerful, really accessible tools out there, and a lot of them are free, like Google Analytics, that can help you gather these crucial insights and turn them into action.
You know, I think this quote from our source material just sums it all up perfectly. Scaling a business is tough, there's no doubt about it, but it's not some kind of impossible dark art. With the right strategy, the right mindset, and yeah, a little bit of resilience, the growth potential is truly limitless. So, that brings us to the end of our roadmap. We've covered the blueprint, the model, the partnerships, the markets, and the data. Now the only question left is the one right there on your screen. Looking at everything we've talked about today, what is the very first step you are going to take to scale your business?